Hi, my name's Aiden, and today I'm going to be talking about what are sus chords and how do we play them. Okay, so a sus chord kind of sounds like this. I'll play it in C. And there's sus4, sus2, sus2, sus4. And here's how we can figure them out. So here's what I would consider the best way to figure out a sus2 chord. So let's think in the key of C. Let's do a C major scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, now what I like to think of it is erase the third of your C chord. So in this case, that's the E. Okay, so take that out, and now we're going to replace it. If we want a sus2, we're going to replace it with the second scale degree in the C major scale. So what is the second scale degree in the C major scale? What we're going to do is we're going to play C major scale and find the second note. So we have 1, 2. Now we're going to add this note to our remaining notes. And that's a C sus2. Okay. Let's do another example on F. So on F, we're going to do the same thing. Let's find the second scale degree of this F major scale. So we're going to go F, G. That's second. 1, 2. And you don't really need to play the whole major scale because you only need the first two. Okay? So we're going to add this G to our F chord. Now remember, we got to take away that middle note. So we're going to go like that. Take away that A because that A doesn't belong anymore if you want it to be a sus2. Okay? There's your F sus2. Okay, let's go to a B flat sus2. So there's B flat. Now we're going to play the B flat major scale. We're going to go B flat, C. Okay, we're going to find the second note in that scale, B flat, C. This is the note that we're replacing the third with. Okay, so normally here's our B flat chord. The third is D. We're replacing that with a C. There you go. Alright, so what are sus4 chords? So if we're playing a sus4 chord, we're going to do the same process, but instead of a 2, we'll find the 4 in the major scale, okay? Right, so let's do it in C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's our fourth note. That's the one we're really going to be working with. So here's a C. Take out that middle note, and instead play the fourth note. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the left hand can just play kind of like the 1 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 5. Okay. Let's go to that. Let's do a G this time. Let's go find the fourth scale degree. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're dealing with a C. So let's replace that middle note, which is a B, and play the C instead. Now add your bass, and there's your G sus4, okay? Let's do one last one, and I'm going to go over another way you can think of it, okay? So let's go to a D. Now, the D major scale, we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to add that note. We're going to replace the middle note, which is F sharp, with a G. Just like that. So we have D sus4, pretty much just replacing this G flat or F sharp, let's call it F sharp, with a G, okay? If we're playing a C sus2, a G, then that kind of leads into a G over B. So this is kind of like an F sus2. See, I have an F sus2 here, and I'm just adding different bass notes. Here's another F sus2. G sus4. Okay, so you can play a 1 chord, which is C, in the key of C. Play the sus2. Then play the 4 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just play the sus2. And then you can play G sus4. That's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you don't know what I mean by 5, 4, and 1, that's just like the chords have in the major scale. This is like what they're related to. So that's a 1. That's a 4. That's a 5. Okay. Here's a G sus4. All right, let's do that in a different key. Let's do that in F. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's B flat's your 4, and then C is your 5. Okay. So let's play F sus2, B flat sus2, and C sus4. 1, 4, 5. Okay. Now, what's the faster way to figure out these chords? So there's a lot of different ways you can think of it, but here's one. Say you have a C. We're just going to think of the third scale degree. So remember, this is the third scale degree is just like kind of like the middle one of the chord, the middle note. Now, if you want a sus2, take that third scale degree, which is an E in this case, and go down a whole step. E. That's a whole step. You kind of skip a note, or you do 2 half steps. Half step 1, half step 2. Okay, that's the note you're adding. So here's normal, and you take a whole step down from the middle, or the third scale degree in the chord. Okay, and let's do a G flat. Let's do a harder one. All right, we're gonna take this B flat, and we're gonna go one whole step down. Why the B flat? The B flat because it's the middle note of the chord. Okay. Half step, half step. So we're taking this note, and we're going a whole step down. And that's the note you're adding, or more. It's kind of more like replacing. Let's do one more. Let's do B. Okay, here's a B chord. Let's take that E flat and change it to be one whole step down. So here's E flat. That's a whole step, and that's the note you're adding. Okay. Now for sus4, let's go back to C. You do the same thing except you go half step up. Okay, so here's the third, and we're gonna change this E one step up. So you're adding the F. Let's go to B flat. So here it's a little more tricky because it's a harder chord, you could say. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the third of the note of the chord. It's an F, and we're gonna put this up to a G flat or an F sharp, and that's the note you're kind of replacing there. You're replacing F with F sharp. Let's go to A. Now this one we're gonna do the same thing. Find the middle note, D flat, and that's gonna go to a D, because it's one up, one half step up. All right. So play around with this. If you're in church or something and you want to play these chords, you can, like, if I was to play Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. Na, na. That's kind of like an F sus2 here. I'm just adding. Here's G sus4. There it is. Na, na, sus2. All right, I hope you enjoyed that and learned something from about sus chords. I'll see you in the next one.